Hey there, I'm Lee Ullman here with some big news from the National Young Farmers Coalition. We're partnering with Heritage Radio Network on a special season of The Farm Report. It's all about what's happening with the Farm Bill and how it impacts farmers and eaters.
I am growing diversified vegetables on land that's been in our family for 150 years.
And so with the pandemic, gentrification, property values going up, we had to sell the land and we lost it.
Join us as we uncover the untold stories behind this massive piece of legislation that shapes how we grow our food, what we eat, and so much more.
The problems we have had, those are things that come from earlier Farm Bill and USDA policy, right? Like Earl Butz, get big or get out.
You know, it's my responsibility to know not only what I'm eating, but then like how that all came to be. And realize like, wow, like this piece of legislation, all this money, like it's technically something that I support as a taxpayer.
While Congress debates the next Farm Bill, this is not just an invitation to listen. It's a call to action. Be part of the conversation. Subscribe to the Farm Report on Heritage Radio Network, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Today's program was brought to you by 100 Bogart Street, the brand new co-working space in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Learn more at 100bogart.com.
You're listening to Heritage Radio Network. We're a member-supported food radio network broadcasting over 35 weekly shows live from Bushwick, Brooklyn. Join our hosts as they lead you through the world of craft brewing, behind the scenes of the restaurant industry, inside the battle over school food, and beyond. Find us at heritageradionetwork.org.
Hello and welcome to Snacky Tunes. I'm one half your host, Greg Bresnitz. This week, we are smack dab in the middle of crawfish season and we're heading out west to LA's Beaucoup Crawfish Catering with Chef Mark Grand Prix, who is a basketball coach and teacher. And while he's not working the courts on the weekends, he's drawing in the masses with his delectable crawfish boils and Creole cooking. Then we come back east side to the indie pop dance funk of Crush Club, who teach us everything about the dance lyrics and the bass bod that make up their sound. So sit back and listen as you enjoy this week's episode of Snacky Tunes.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes, finger on the pulse, Snacky Tunes.
Hello and welcome to Snacky Tunes. I'm one half your host, Darren Bresnitz. We are sitting here with Chef Mark Grand Prix of Beaucoup Crawfish.
That's correct.
I got it. I was nervous. I was nervous that I wasn't gonna say it right, but a Beaucoup Crawfish.
That's how we say it in New Orleans. Beaucoup.
Beaucoup. What's Beaucoup mean?
Beaucoup means a lot, plenty.
Plenty,
a lot.
That's always what I think of when I think of crawfish.
Yeah.
I've never had a plate of crawfish where I was like, oh, those were 3 or 4. You know, when I think of shrimp or other like shellfish, I'm like, okay, it's 3 or 4 bites. But with crawfish, it's just like
you got to keep going.
You got to keep going. So you grew up in New Orleans, right?
I grew up in New Orleans, man. I got to give a shout out to my high school. It's a pretty famous high school back home, St. Augustine High School, home of the Purple Knights. So, yeah.
I don't think of anyone who's born and raised from New Orleans who doesn't have a lot of pride, not just for the city, but for there's like different parts of New Orleans, and like, this is me. Yeah. This is my corner. Yeah. This is my block.
Yeah. Without a doubt. New Orleans people are very, very prideful. Very, I don't want to say egotistical, but we have a lot of pride. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on back home. I mean, we, can be, very prideful because we have the best food in the world. We always think that, we party.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the, I look at especially New Orleans as the city where, like, if America was allowed to do what it wanted to do and, like, drink and party and work hard and create art and cook great food, New Orleans.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, from music to food.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great. So you grew up there. Who cooked? Mom, grandma?
Everybody. Everybody cooked. My first cooking, I don't know how this experience is, Sundays by my grandmother's house.
What did she make?
Everything. I mean, oh my God. Of course, the traditional stuff as far as gumbo.
Sure.
But she would do stuff like grillade and grits, and people don't even know about that.
Grillade, what is that?
Grillade is like a red sauce that's made with veal.
And where did she learn how to cook from? Like, where was she?
Oh my God, that's a great question. I wish I knew that. I mean, my ancestry goes back to France on her side of the family.
Okay.
Her last name was Coste, Coste. Her maiden name was LeBeau. I just found out like a couple of months ago that the Coste is a huge family in Paris, and they own all these huge restaurants. So I don't know if that's part of
it's in your
where
blood.
It started. Right. So she would make a ton of things that you couldn't find even in New Orleans restaurants.
And mom cooked too, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
So is this grandma your mom's mom?
Yeah, my mom's mom.
So she passed it down to...
My mom and my aunts were was in the kitchen with my grandmother on Sundays cooking, and the whole family be there.
How big of a family? Big.
Huge. My grandmother...
Deep sigh and huge.
My grandmother's brothers and sisters went 10. She had 10 kids, so... it was deep. And what's so crazy is that it could, like, my grandmother's house used to be a bar room. Okay. And then they shut it down and just closed up the bar room, and they would live at the home and have a bar room in the front of the house, and the home would be in the back of the house. So the party would start on Friday when people get off of work, and would go all the way through Sunday evening.
That's amazing. So what was it like to grow up with that? Because a lot of the times I found that either your family cooked and hosted and had open arms.
That's how it was.
Or didn't.
No, and I was open arms to the 10th power, because even to this day, with me living in New Orleans, my friends back home still go on a Sunday by my mom's house and eat.
They're like, we don't care if you're there.
We don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care.
But you're like, I'm not going to be there. They're like, yeah, that's not why we went over in the first place.
Yeah, and I talked to my mom this morning. I talk to her every morning. The first topic of conversation is, what are you cooking and who's coming over?
So when did you start getting into, when did food at what age go beyond just like, oh, mom and grandma are cooking, to you sort of being aware of food as something more than just in front of you on a plate?
I don't know. That's a good question. I started getting a bug to start cooking when I moved to Los Angeles.
And when did you move to LA?
In 1996.
What brought you here?
Coaching basketball. I took a college coaching job at a junior college out here in Los Angeles. Ended up staying and teaching and coaching high school basketball.
And then the bug, I mean, there's not a lot. LA offers an incredible amount of diverse cuisines.
Right.
I would not say New Orleans Creole
Not at
cooking
all.
is one of them.
And I think that's what forced me to have to start cooking.
Because you missed it?
I missed it.
Did people even know in the late 90s what that type of Creole cuisine was?
I think so, because I would get it when I first moved here. People would always ask me about the food.
Sure.
I think it was pretty popular even back then. But you just couldn't. I mean, there's places out here, and I tried them. No disrespect to those places, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, I mean, food culture also in the late 90s was a little different.
Yeah.
And I think America looks into itself as sometimes, but not as like a regional cuisine place the way it does now, where it's like, okay, we have South Carolina with the Gullah Geechee cuisine, we have New Orleans, we have like the Appalachian stuff. Like, you know, when people say New Orleans cuisine now, people can sort of have a clear idea.
Right.
So, but you got the bug.
Yeah, I got the bug when I moved here, and because I missed the food. So I was always on the phone with my mom.
She must have loved that.
Yeah, any excuse for her to talk to her youngest son is.
She was like, "Do you need help in the kitchen?" I remember when I moved away, and the first time I started really getting into cooking, I would talk.
his big head.
I know the dog is trying to get in on the interview, but
exactly.
You know, when I started moving away, my mom would be like, "Are you cooking? Do you need some tips?" And I'd be like, "How do I cook this? What do I do?" And she loved it.
Right.
And so when did you start going from like, okay, I'm sort of into this, I'm asking this, to being like, no, I actually sort of really want to learn how to cook?
Probably about 3 years ago.
Okay.
When I decided to start not just cooking for other people, because I've always done that.
Sure.
People coming over, I love entertaining. But when I decided to start cooking and trying to sell it.
Yeah. So before we get into the business of it, going back, because I know that you then went home to learn from your mom.
Yeah. Really learn.
Like really learn.
Like not just over the phone.
Not over the phone.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Because I feel, you know, especially with your story, but also in other things, you know, your grandma taught your mom, and then your mom is now teaching you, and the importance of tradition of passing down recipes, especially, as you said, some things that don't even exist in cookbooks and things like that.
Yeah, so it was an experience. So the beauty of being a teacher, I get the whole summer off.
Right.
I will go home for the whole summer.
Sure.
As much as possible. So this one summer, I warned her, because my mom is like, right now, she's 100%, she's blind. She's 100% blind. She's still cooking, which is amazing.
That's amazing.
I wish I could videotape her when she's cooking. So I warned her, like, Mom, I'm coming home. I'm gonna be in the kitchen with you. I need a crash course.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to measure everything.
Right.
So that was a whole different ball game right there. Like, she doesn't mind teaching me, but she doesn't want to do the measurements. So that so when I got there, we would fight back and forth. She would have these breakdowns where she had to take like a break, because she would cuss me out.
She'd be like, it's a pinch. You just feel it, and you go, and what's a feel? Is that like a cup?
And because she's blind, everything is feel. So she's putting stuff in her hand, and I'm like, Mom, hold on, let me put this in this cup, let me see what the measurement is. And then I would either just round up or down on the measurements and stuff like that. But she would get frustrated because it would slow her up. And she would move and shake in the kitchen, so she would cuss me out.
But she must have felt pride, I mean, to know that her recipes will live on and her mother's recipes will live on. That you're going to spread them out.
That was the how can I say that? That was like my selling point.
Yeah.
To get her to measure.
Right.
Like I had to motivate her and do things to get her to understand what I was trying to do. Yes, that was one of the things that I had to I explained to her to try to get her to say, okay, I'll do this with you.
Now, did your mom make crawfish?
Or
as far as like boiling it?
Boiling, or like what was her specialty?
You know what? Boiling seafood outside is more of the man's job.
So is it still split by like male, female roles of cooking?
Oh, without a doubt. Women do not get a big pot and set it up and boil it back at home. That doesn't happen. They do not barbecue.
Right.
They're not on the grill, and they're not boiling seafood.
But the kitchen is
her domain.
Is her domain.
Yeah.
And you sit at her feet and you go, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And what did she teach you? I guess to me, if she didn't teach you crawfish, and that's sort of what you're most known for, even though I know you do other types of food.
I do other types of food.
What was she teaching you?
She would teach me, what we would do was, every meal that I knew I grew up on eating, I scheduled it out 1 meal per week.
Sure.
For us to go over the recipes. I already had the basic fundamentals of cooking because of growing up with her. She, there were certain things as a child she would teach us, just like basic fundamentals, cutting, seasoning.
Sure.
Just being
the Holy Trinity.
Yeah. And being around the fire, just those type of things, on how to handle a knife and all those type of things. So, but just getting in there and seeing how she preps and how she just goes from one step to the next on a specific meal that she's cooking.
So the timing, the process,
the timing,
mental,
without a doubt.
Which is a big thing, because
timing is very big.
If you run a business and you're trying to get things out, that timing and knowing when I got to get this in the day before for it to be ready at noon tomorrow.
Right. And I would take all of that and put it in chef restaurant terms and process.
Well, we're going to take a quick break because we're going to talk about the chef restaurant and the business and starting Beaucoup Crawfish. We're going to have a song from the archives here on Snacky Tunes on heritageradionetwork.org.
Don't you tell them what to do. Just sit yourself down. Don't do these things to you. Sit yourself down, never between us. How you see right through that hard pride. That pride you got means everything to you. When I hit you on the knuckle, baby, look me dead in the eye. Watch you see it right through me too. Tambo solo. So good. Keep your pride and find somebody else that will keep all your actions you're doing justified. We're gonna destroy this room, right, Andy? Ready? Okay.
Hello and welcome back to Snacky Tunes. We are here with Chef Mark Grand Prix of Beaucoup Crawfish. So once you had learned everything from your mom, which I'm sure is something that that's something you remember forever.
Right.
You had started to think about having a business, or when did you start to say, I'm going to start doing a food service?
Right.
So I'm going to start. Hello and welcome to Snacky. Hello and welcome back to Snacky Tunes. I'm one half your host, Darren Bresnitz. We're Chef Mark Grand Prix of Beaucoup Crawfish. So once you've learned everything from your mom, and you've gotten a handle on it. You said that part of the reason why you went down was because you started to think about serving food, making it more of a business. What got you there?
Well, I was laid off from my teaching job.
Okay.
So I'm sitting around one day and I get a phone call from sitting around trying to figure out, well, what I'm going to do next. Am I going to try to get another teaching job So I get a phone call from a buddy of mine's back home, and I'm just talking to him about my life. And he's like, why don't you boil crawfish out there? You know how to do it? And I was like, then the light bulb went over my head. And that was like April. And in May, I put on a party here at my home in the back and invited a bunch of people over. And everybody loved it. And I was like, okay, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. So I started off my business just boiling crawfish.
Right.
And what happened was like a few weeks later, I'm scouring the internet to figure out how I can sell the crawfish. And I was looking at festivals, and I came across the LA Food Fest.
Mm-hmm. And what year is this?
2016,
okay.
2015. I'm not sure. 2016, I think. And so I seen that they were still doing auditions or taking entries. So I contacted the people and brought my stuff over, and they loved it, and they selected me, and that was the start of Beaucoup Crawfish.
And that's actually the first time where I had your crawfish.
That was the first time.
So, a lot of people have a job or looking for a side hustle. What is that like to start a business with the food side hustle?
Man, it's tough because you have to still pay your rent at the end of the day.
Sure.
And so you have to find something that's bringing in consistent money. Mm-hmm. In my particular case, I'm teaching. I got back into the teaching. So it's, you have to market your business. That takes time, which is social media nowadays. And you're cooking. So you have to find ways to, I come home from work, and either I'm marketing or I'm cooking, and weekends is always cooking.
I mean, your social game is pretty strong. I
don't know. I
mean, I look at it, and every time I look at it, I go, I mean, this is just me, but I'm like, I want crawfish.
Right.
But how do you, what is the consistency? I mean, what is the response? How have you built a community through social media and the having a response, because it's so interactive, because growing up with chefs and even some bigger chefs, you're just like, I can't ever talk to them, but I assume that you're talking to a lot of the people who are fans.
I mean, I get a lot of direct messages or DMs, people always commenting, and the thing about social media I'm learning is that you have to combine it with something. Mm-hmm. Meaning you have to do something other than just social media to promote, even if it's something little. So like last summer, I would do pop-ups. Mm-hmm. And so that would help with the social media.
Right, so you would go to bars, different places.
Yeah, there's a deli in my neighborhood right around the corner. It's called Potato Chip Deli, and I'm really good. I'm cool with the owner, and he's open from like 11 to 4. Mm-hmm. So I would go there, always get a sandwich, and an idea hit me and was like, hey, Raphael, you close at 4. Can I get in here when you close at 5 and for a few hours and sell my food? And he was like, yeah, come on. So I started doing that once a week on every Friday. And that's when I started implementing my other menus, which is my other food items.
Right, because beyond crawfish, you do
gumbo, jambalaya, dirty rice. I fry seafood, and you name it, I do it. I have a full catering menu that I send out to people.
And so, what was the reaction to that, especially from people in LA, but also people who also are ex-New Orleans?
Right. Everybody loved it. My goal was to just target my neighborhood, which is the Fairfax district. I would walk around in the evening time and hang up flyers in the neighborhood, and people would show up, and I use social media.
Isn't it great just to be like, I'm going to do this, and then people showed up?
It's crazy, man. I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's great when it, you know. Yeah, I don't. It's great. It's unexplainable. It's like the best feeling in the world.
Well, I mean, you know, the one thing I say is the crawfish you get. Every time I see photos of it, and the ones that I had, are not those dinky little crawfish.
No,
they're big meaty ones.
I get them from home. I have. I use my brother as my shipping supplier, and he goes to the seafood markets in New Orleans, in the New Orleans area. There's a seafood market in West Wego, Louisiana, that has a ton of stuff. Sometimes we get it straight off the boat from people.
Damn. And then he ships it overnight?
He ships. No, we get it the same day.
Wow.
So I don't want to tell my secret.
No. This isn't for the secrets. But you got a guy.
I got a guy.
You got a guy there.
I got a guy there. Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I had it, and subsequent times I've just been like, this is just like being back in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But it went beyond just the seasoning, the flavors. It was like the meat, the water, because you can taste the terroir of the crawfish.
When I open up the sack, you can smell Louisiana.
Does it bring you right back home?
Oh, without a doubt. Your senses is amazing. What it does as far as memories.
So you're doing another round of pop-ups this season as well, because for people who don't know, Crawfish is a season.
Seasonal.
Which is a season I look forward to.
Yeah, it's only about 4 or 5 months a year.
Which is probably a good thing, because I think the amount of crawfish that get eaten during that season, if it was full year round, there'd be none left.
There would be none left. It would be the species would be extinct. At least in Louisiana.
So you're starting to do pop-ups again this season at 504 Bar.
Yeah.
And where is that in Los Angeles?
That's in Hollywood at 6541 Hollywood Boulevard. It's a great little New Orleans bar that I never knew existed until I went to see the Saints and Vikings playoff game.
There's always, say what you will about sports.
Yeah.
That's a great way to meet people in your community if you don't live there.
Exactly.
You're like, oh yeah, there's my wife and I are Eagles fans.
Yeah.
And there's Eagle bars around there.
Right.
You go like, oh, you're from Philadelphia, we're from Philadelphia, things like that.
Yeah.
So you went there to see Saints game, and you started talking to the owner?
Well, no, not at that time. So I'm sitting there and the place was packed.
Yeah.
And then that's when the idea hit me.
The wheels turning. You're
You're
like, you probably all like my food.
Yeah. And this is the way it's set up is perfect for eating crawfish.
Yeah.
It's not a fancy, smashy place. It's a bar. It's a New Orleans dive bar in the heart of Hollywood.
So it's good. So what's the deal? So it's going every Sunday.
Every Sunday from 1 to 7.
Awesome. And you just come in and what is it, by the pound?
We selling it about a pound. We selling it at $12 a pound, which is below market price in Los Angeles.
And till you run out?
Until we run out. I'm gonna do about 150 pounds for the first event, and then
see how it goes.
Yeah, and we're gonna be there Easter Sunday.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna be there Easter Sunday every Sunday.
That's amazing.
And we're gonna have a brass band or a DJ. We're gonna have a brass band today. We're gonna have a brass band for the first one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so what? So there's gonna be crawfish, but it's gonna be other specialties.
Crawfish. I'll throw some boiled corn in there in the pot and potatoes.
Sausage?
Corn and no sausage this time. No sausage.
All right. So as you cook and as you spread the word, how does it feel of carrying the culinary traditions from your grandmother, great grandmother, your mother out into the world, into another part of the world? Because your family, as you said, is still in New Orleans, but now you're had this like culinary diaspora to LA and are spreading this tradition. I mean, there's a good chance some people, maybe not at the Louisiana New Orleans bar, but might be having this type of food for the first time.
Right.
And you're spreading that gospel of like, these are flavors in America that are important to me and to my family, and I'm now sharing it with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. There's no pressure involved in that. It's all fun and it's all love, and it's just, it's teaching someone how to open up and eat a crawfish is a really good feeling.
Has anyone gotten squeamish? I mean, it's not the most ladylike or gentlemanlike way to eat food.
Right.
But I feel like it's so visceral.
Right.
That like once you get past where it's like a little messy, you just get into it.
Yeah, and it becomes addictive.
Oh.
And once you get, and that's key what you said, is getting past that, I have to suck the head, I have to do this. But once you get this rhythm going and you learn how to start opening them up, and then you're opening them up faster and faster and faster, then it becomes an addiction, really.
I've definitely totally zoned out, where like the whole world disappears.
Just stops, yeah.
And it's just me,
your crawfish and your beer.
And my beer and my crawfish.
That's
and the
it.
pile of unopened crawfish slowly morphs into a pile of open crawfish.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you come up for air and you're like, wait, what happened? What happened?
What's the score in the game?
What's the score of the game?
Right.
We're still up? Okay, I'm going back in.
Yeah.
So the pop-up's happening this season, through the whole season.
Yep. All the way through June.
All the way through June, and you're still teaching. But where do you see the future of Beaucoup Crawfish? What would you like?
Man, I would love a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's my ultimate goal. To do right now we're catering. I do events, I do parties, meetings. But eventually I would love to have my own restaurant. It doesn't have to be a big restaurant. It can just somewhere some people can come and get my food on a daily basis.
And how do you train to go from pop-ups, catering, things like that on the business side to running a real restaurant? Because I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but they do what you do. They have an amazing food side hustle, but then that jump is a big jump.
I mean, it's kind of like it's like a lot of creative industry, right? So if I'm a singer, I have the talent to sing, but I need you also have to have the business sense to run your singing business or whatever you want to do it, or if you're a painter, or if you're anything. And it's the same thing in this business. I'm in the kitchen all day. My business savvy is not going to be as good as someone who's a restaurateur, and that's all they do, and they're not in the kitchen cooking.
No. So
you have to be able to learn a lot, or learn a little of a lot, in order to be successful. I remember growing up with this guy named Master P, and rapper. So I always say that he wasn't the best rapper, but his business acumen was off the chain.
Legendary.
Right.
Legendary for his business.
Right. Yeah. So that's how you have to be. He's a rapper, but he was also a really, really good business guy, Well,
listen, anyone who's in the business of owning a restaurant would be lucky to work with you.
Right. Hey, and if anyone is interested in partnering up and open to help me open up this restaurant, contact me. I'm open. I have my recipes is ready to go.
Yeah, and they are delicious. Well, I want to thank you so much. Where can people find you online, internet?
At Beaucoup Crawfish Instagram.
Spell that for people because they may not know.
BEAUCOUPCRAWFISH. Beaucoup Crawfish. Or if we was in France, it'll be what? Beaucoup? Beaucoup Crawfish.
Well, Mark, thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming, Darren.
I appreciate you making crawfish in LA.
Thank you, man. Make sure you come on Sunday.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
One of the Sundays at least.
Yeah. I'll probably try and get there on the first Sunday.
Yeah, great.
Well, I want to thank you so much. We have another song from the archives, and then up next is a live performance here on Snacky Tunes on heritageradionetwork.org.
100 Bogart Street is finally open and ready for Bushwick. 100 Bogart is a brand new, state-of-the-art co-working space that provides turnkey workspaces, including open layout desks, meeting spaces, and furnished private offices. Members have access to top-notch amenities such as custom furniture, high-speed internet, spacious kitchenettes with coffee and tea, printers, scanners, and much more. Alongside their professional work environment, 100 Bogart also provides exclusive educational programming for any curious entrepreneur. Heritage Radio Network has made their new office home at 100 Bogart and will host many events there in the future. For more information about their co-working space, visit 100bogart.com and become a member to network, create, and educate.
Hey, thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network. This is Katie, HRN Executive Director, and I'm so excited to share with you our coverage from the Charleston Wine and Food Festival.
We are here live today at Charleston Wine and Food.
Join us as we talk all things food.
Come to Charleston, eat some seafood. Eat all of the seafood.
Chicken fried chicken with chorizo steak and salsa verde mashed potatoes.
So quintessentially like Southern fare at its finest.
And have important conversations.
We're also talking about professional women in restaurants and how underrepresented they are, people of color in restaurants, and how they're not talked about.
We get real with Food Network's Manit Chauhan.
Balance is BS. I was told that I wasn't going to be bleeped out.
And find out about raising sugarcane with Chef Sean Brock.
It's like being Indiana Jones or something. You never know what you're going to find.
You'll come away inspired by the power of food and the food scene in Charleston. Here's Dr. Jessica B. Harris.
Food is constantly in flux. Food is always moving. Food is the only real lingua franca that we have that allows us to connect with other folks.
So tune in to Heritage Radio Network on tour at heritageradionetwork.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can't go wrong.
Welcome back. Crush Club.
Hey.
Live in Studio TC in the Chev.
Hello. Yay! You're the only one. It's kind of a name, Le Chev.
Yeah.
That's been around for a while, and sometimes you pick a name for yourself and you're like, man, that's like goofy. After it's like a word that you just say over and over and over again, and after a while it doesn't mean anything to you. And so I'm so glad you said it, and you said it right, and it's just nice.
Well, we've known each other for a long time.
I know.
So
Lots
of
emails. Actually.
Well, I mean, prior to Crush Club.
Yeah.
Sweaty house parties in Brooklyn with Alex Pasternak of
Y'all
Lemonade.
dated, huh?
Well, yeah. I'm old. Well, the sun's still up, and we're listening to funk.
Hey. Yeah.
And disco and grooves.
Yeah.
I just texted my brother, this sounds like stuff we listened to when we were out.
Yeah.
Right. Which is great.
Feels right.
Feels right.
I'd say definitely one of the motivating factors of Crush Club is like, that's what you want. Just do that.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I'd say we're not really going head to head with FKA Twigs on this project. We're having like a really amazing funk time.
I remember
all smiles.
I remember when I was at the end of DJing. It was when
and you're DJing right now.
Kind of. But when like 4x4 and heavy bass is coming out, and I was like, I'm gonna have to stop because I just don't like this. And I'm not gonna, and no one wants to hear the music I like anymore. So I guess I'm done. And there are some people who just like, DJ with the times. And so it's like, you can always tell when people like, because I mean, watching you two perform, it's like, it could be 2 or 200 or 2,000. And I'm pretty sure it's the same performance, which means that you love it.
Oh yeah.
Deep in the core.
If it's 100 BC, this is the same. Even if we went back in time.
Well, probably less amplified.
More just
No, we find the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Sound bounces off the wall.
It really does. There are a few words that I continue to see how Crush Club is defined. Bold, sexy, reckless, instincts, body, anticipation.
That just came from the Chef's Tinder.
Movement.
Movement.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
no, that's
but I can say it because you move, but you were giving great bass face and great bass body, which I think is a new era. What is it to be able to embody those words, and kind of like how does it take your music to kind of like both from the intangible and the tangible parts of words and then a feeling?
That's such a good question. Let me just answer for you.
Sure.
No, I'm just, to me, it's like, you go through music, you learn all this garbage. I studied so much shit, and especially this project, like music, so much of it is just magical. It makes you move in a way, and most people don't know, like, that's an A or that's a B. And to think about it is kind of dumb too, So this is more like everything goes in, you learn all your stuff, and then just do it whatever feels good at the time. And you'll know, like, it's not just dancing. I can't sing very well at all, but I do the like Oscar Peterson. I don't know if you ever listen to Oscar Peterson. It's like, he's a jazz piano player, and he sings along with his piano, and he sings all crazy. So it's like, it's this most unbelievable piano solo you've ever heard, and he's going like, so I'm doing that also.
So you're like backup yelling.
I'm backup yelling. I'm bass facing. I'm
body basing.
Body basing.
That's a lot. And you're just singing, huh?
I'm
Get to
just
work.
Singing,
Yeah.
I'm just grooving.
5 checks for me, 1 for him.
10 for me.
Yeah.
And when you're making this music, it's so easy for the lyrics to kind of be throwaway or just kind of repetition. How do you match it, and what are you saying within the music that complements the backup yelling?
We spend time on our lyrics.
No, obviously. No, it's very obvious.
That was a compliment. I know.
Yes,
yeah.
it's very,
thank you so much.
That might have not come out as a compliment, but it was.
Right.
I think we know that it could easily turn into that, and
Yep.
so we try to be at least a little real and smart with the lyrics, and then usually, I've had a fun night and I come in and I'm just speaking gibberish, and then Cheever just turns it into English. Yeah, very helpful.
What's one of the? We have one song that never saw the light of day. That's called Marshmallow. I shouldn't even give it away because someone's gonna just steal it and make it a song. They owe us money already, and it was late in Paris, and our friend who's at the time pretty ESL guy from Brussels. And we were like getting messed up, and we're like, let's go just jam, let's go make a beat. So we make a beat that's really slow and drunk, and the hook just goes marshmallow, marshmallow, marshmallow.
So nice.
So nice. And it was the fucking jam. Like, it was really good.
Yeah.
So it's maybe not out yet.
Yeah.
Coming.
You just sang the chorus, and then I'm back in.
Sense for
someone's
gonna use it. Yeah.
Everyone loves marshmallows.
Can we hear a song?
A song?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do a song.
What are you going to play for us first?
We Dance.
We Dance, which I don't know if we're going to play later. There's also the remix of this song that's currently storming up the charts. BBC World 1, Australia.
Yeah, super mini remix.
Thank you, Ramon. So good.
Lopez.
Here we go. Crush Club Live on Snacky Tunes.
One, two, three, oh!
Torn up and turned around. Got lost in the darkest cloud. Yeah. I felt there was no way out. No, I almost lost control. I forgot what I was living for, but I still got my energy. And the music gives me all I need. We dance, we make the club our own. We chant at night to free our souls. It's that time of the night when the music is right. Hey DJ, won't you play my song one more time? We dance.
and when you make it truth sound, oh, someone said to shut it down. So much to overcome. That struggle is never done. Still got that energy, and the music gives you all you need. We dance, we make the club our own. We chant at night to free our souls. It's that time of the night when the music is right. Hey DJ, won't you play my song one more time? We dance, we make the club our own. We chant at night to free our souls. We dance, we make the club our home. We chant at night to free our souls. It's that time of the night when the music is right. Hey DJ, won't you play my song one more time? We dance. Come on, Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi, come on. The Crush Club. Come on. We dance, we make the club our own. We chant at night to free our souls. It's that time, when the music is right. Hey DJ, won't you play my song one more time? We dance, we make the club our own. We chant at night to free our souls. We Yes.
I want to talk about the concept of a super mini remix because I've never come across that before. So what is a super mini remix and how much does it differentiate from the original before it goes into a super remix or a mini remix? Please educate.
Oh, this is. I wish it was something that we came up. It was actually just somebody's DJ name. But okay. On that note, we have done a super mini. We've done like super mini EP, like where it just has like 2 seconds of every song, and it's so disorienting. But that's the advertisement for the EP. Anyway, yeah, this guy Ramon, forgot his last name.
Lopez.
Ramon Lopez.
Yeah.
Australian guy, hit us up randomly, found the song, please let me remix, and we send him stems, of course. If anyone
What's crazy is
like
that he was really eager, and I think like now today when someone's really eager, you kind of like think, what's up with this person, which is pretty screwed up.
It's really cynical, but
yeah,
I mean,
it's
but like
sad.
I know it's because before you're just like, oh, we're collaborating.
Yeah.
But now you're like, what's the angle here?
Yeah.
What's the game guy?
Are you a real person? Like are you like a 14-year-old? But
is this just some like Russian bot?
Is this Leshev just like building up confidence?
Yeah.
I sent this message to myself 5 years ago, so at the time I'd be like, yes, someone's listening, love it.
But it turns out like refreshingly, he happens to be someone who just likes music and reaches out to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had like a remix like on the Billboard US dance chart. Like he's like killing it, and he's just super eager and like amazing.
When we did remixes in like a million lifetimes ago, the last message I sent on MySpace was to Licky Lee to be like, I'm a really big fan. Can you send me the stems for a little bit? And she did. Like
amazing.
Right before, and I was like when you used to be able to be like, hey, I really like this. Can we remix it? And she's like, yeah, here you go. Like that was an earnest time.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now it's like someone writes you like, are you going to hack me? And is this a phishing scam?
Yeah. Are you just gonna release the song like before it's out?
Right. And are you going to like take credit for it and then I have to be like, no, that's ours.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's so dark. Do people do that? Actually, have you heard that someone is like, hey, let me remix this, and they just release it and be like, I wrote this song? That would be
That's
so
a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, how do we write this album?
We gotta
We'll
go.
never tell. We'll never tell. Yeah. Can we hear another song?
Yes.
Please.
What are you going to play for us this time?
What do you want to do, Chi-Chi?
Let's do Trust.
Trust.
Yes.
Yes.
What everyone needs a little bit more of.
This is the gayest
Perfect.
Crush Club song
What
to date.
To date.
Yeah.
What makes it the gayest Crush Club song?
It just feels like, like dark club, like
Does that
sexy.
equal gay?
It equals gay. I mean, have you been to a straight? I mean, yeah. Right?
I've been to I've been everywhere.
It makes me feel like I'm like in a back room.
Yes.
Getting my dick sucked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go on Snacky Tunes.
Sloppy.
Trust.
I don't want you if I can. Be around the other man. 'Cause that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I think you'll never have enough. 'Cause to you I gave my blood. So what are we to do? What we gonna do? 'Cause it's about trust, it's about faith, it's about all the things I want, all the things you're not willing to say. So what you gonna say? It's about me, it's about you, it's about all the things I want, all the things you're not willing to do. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? No more revolving doors, 'cause this heart can take no more. I want it to come through. I tried to come through. It seems we couldn't hit the mark. With our love lost in the dark, I want the best for you. So baby, come through. Ooh. It's about trust. It's about faith. It's about all the things I want, all the things you're not willing to say. So what you gonna say? It's about me. It's about you. It's about all the things I want, all the things you're not willing to do. So what you gonna do? Faith is in the sky, and trust is all around. Our heads are up so high, hearts are on the ground. Faith is in the sky, and trust is all around. Our heads are up so high, heads way up so high, hearts are on the ground. 'Cause it's about trust, it's about faith, it's about all the things I want, all the things you're not willing to say. So what you gonna say? Ooh, what you gonna say? It's about me, it's about you,
You have a DJ residency at Club Coming.
Something sad has happened.
What has happened?
So, I guess like their neighbors or something happened where.
This is a classic New York tale.
Yeah, it's like the cabaret license
fuck.
thing, only it's like the performance license thing, and someone brought it to like the city's attention that they didn't have a license for DJs or live performances, and so for the time being they are shut down just for live stuff. They're still open, but yeah, any
can't get loud for
DJ
a little while.
or like live show nights have been indefinitely postponed.
That said, the residency there has been so fun.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated,
Yeah.
and my parents,
Yeah.
what is Club Coming?
Club Coming is Eastern Bloc back. It's Eastern Bloc 2.0. So Eastern Bloc was a gay bar in the East Village that went off when I was in college. Super sexy, fun, stripper poles, go-go dancers. And then it kind of got lame. And then Alan Cumming...
As things do.
As things do.
Which is fine.
And they were going to shut down. But then Alan Cumming bought it and then turned it into Club Coming.
Which originated from his dressing room when he was on Broadway. He used to turn it into Club Coming and made a little sign for it, and that's where it started.
Is that true?
That is very true.
Ah, yes.
I'm just here to
Was that during Cabaret?
Yes, I'm just here to fill in the facts.
Thank
yes, it was during
you.
So it's like he would invite people back, and then that was Club Coming, and someone made a sign, and then like Cabaret closed, and they're like, let's keep this going, and that's where the idea originated from.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Alan Cumming. He's the best.
Also, like the only way you could get away with a ton of press with that name and be like, yeah, well, that's his last name.
Yeah. Say what you will.
Say what you will. That's his last name. I don't know what you're saying, but that's his last name.
Just come
I
inside.
think a lot of people inside are taking it for face value.
You mean on the face value?
On the face
Yes,
value.
all over the face, in the mouth.
But I mean, that is the thing about New York, where it is like something is so good and a lot of people have a good time, and then there's one. I won't name the bar, but it's a well-known story about this bar that used to have this like ex-DIY punk rock kid turned lawyer who then systematically got them to roll back their hours.
Yeah.
And it's like one person who moved in above a bar and then was upset that they moved in above a bar,
Right.
and then like kind of ruined it for everyone else.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what's going on here. I
It's
think.
so crazy to me when people move to a city into a musical neighborhood and then
A young neighborhood.
expect that it'll be nice and quiet for them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It will be in 7 years. Just put in the time.
I feel like I
Wait
just
for
feel
hope.
that there's a social contract that you enter by coming, especially to New York. I mean, to other people, but like coming to New York, like, oh, it's loud. How are you surprised?
Right.
Like, what did you actually want? What did you want out of this city?
Right.
At all.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, here's a lot of people, and a lot of people who can be marginalized or not celebrated or pushing quarter, who are just like living their lives.
Right.
And like, you know what? I don't like this. This represents everything I don't like, so I'm going to stop this.
Right. Yeah.
I wonder if Alan Cumming is going to go to court over this.
They made it seem like it was very like, oh, it's paperwork that we like missed, and like it'll be solved in like 10 days or like 2 weeks. And
Or,
you know
like,
what?
2 years.
The way they make shit happen, I kind of believe them. And Alan
Right.
Cumming is kind of like,
He's gonna get.
he's
gonna
like
get
a
it done.
lord
Yeah.
of, he's like, a god in New York, and I feel like he's gonna make it happen. And they made a good point that's like, this is a cultural hub. Like
Yeah.
if you shut this down, you're like silencing people.
Yeah.
And I think that's true.
And I don't disagree with it. I mean, honestly, it's like that's where cabaret laws came from. It was to stop black people from dancing. I mean, it's
Right.
like full stop. That's what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, like look at all these people who are different, having a good time. Like, we can't do racist stuff, so
Shut
we'll
it
be like,
down.
oh, shut it down. But like, I mean, we all went out. Like, we danced. We spent our entire 20s and early 30s dancing. No one came and stopped it. That law got repealed 6 months ago.
Right.
It wasn't our parties that were getting shut down.
I was so confused when I heard it was still a law.
Right.
'Cause I was like, oh.
because it was there for the use of that, or for things like
Right.
things like this. It's interesting because New York is starting a nightlife task force too. Like, and they've shown that like nightlife and this type of culture actually benefits the city en masse. It like does it on whole, and it shows like it brings people, it brings ideas together, it like
Right.
breaks down barriers. So
Yeah.
then to do this, that's super public too.
Yeah.
Huh? Did they shame who the neighbor is?
You know, I think I might. I don't know if I'm making the neighbor up, but it felt like someone made it like known to the powers that be that this was happening, and then they got shut down. Like, so I'm sure no one that actually goes to that bar, like, you know, or works at that bar, or like is around that bar, like would ever bring attention to this. So
unless someone got bounced, they're like, okay, fine. They got.
I'm sure it's the person that pays $4,000 for the 1-bedroom apartment above the bar,
or
who wanted Eastern Bloc to close and helped it close.
Or someone got drunk and was like, I'll show them, and like drunk child 311, and we're like, who did I call last night? Oh my god. I can't believe this is happening. Who would do this?
I'm sorry, Amanda Lepore.
Sorry.
No
I want to make
forgiveness.
sure you have an upcoming EP May-ish?
It's an ish.
An ish.
Yeah.
Sometime this year-ish.
Yeah, definitely.
What can we expect on the upcoming EP?
You'll hear 2 of these songs that we're playing today.
Okay.
We Dance and Trust. 3 more unbelievable, perfect songs.
Yes. With non-standard lyrics that will touch the soul, but also shoot from the hip.
Yes.
You think after.
Yes. When you're humming it in the shower, you go, I do feel that way. And I do want to be free. I do want to be free.
You know what? I like it. I don't take it for granted.
I don't.
I like freedom.
So this year-ish, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure we have time for one more song. Where can people find you? Listen to your mini mix that is super mini
Super
mix.
mix.
Climbing up the charts. Where can people find you?
Storming up the charts right now.
So the Super Mini remix will be out in the next couple weeks on Tinted Records, which is an Australian dance label. And then the rest of our stuff that's released is on Spotify, SoundCloud, you know, YouTube. All that stuff.
It's a miracle. If you actually look up Crush Club, vowels in, you'll find us.
You will also find the 2008 Teenage Nightclub.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Where I was like, what I was doing, I was like, oh, okay, so I found a very certain amount of time in New York and Crush Club.
It's cool.
We're going to leave it on that.
Yeah.
What's the name of the last song you're going to play for us?
It's the first
Get
song
Me
we
Off.
made. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the first
Get Me
song.
Off.
Yeah, first song we made. And it was a real great, sometimes you make a tune, received well, everyone's like, yes, energy's right, and this is the whole project just kickstarted. Felt great, and it was the reason for everything.
Perfect. Well, thanks for listening this week. We appreciate you coming by. Thanks for letting me harass you for a year to come on the show. When the time is right, the time is right.
Yes. You know?
Shout out to everyone. Thanks for tuning in this week. We will be back next week with a new episode of Snacky Tunes. Take it away.
This one's for Penny.
Cause you're talk about food, we talk about music with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. For our freshest content and to hear about exclusive events, subscribe to our newsletter. Enter your email at the bottom of our website, heritageradionetwork.org. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at heritage_radio. Heritage Radio Network is a nonprofit organization driving conversations to make the world a better, fairer, more delicious place. And we couldn't do it without support from listeners like you. Want to be a part of the food world's most innovative community? Rate the shows you like, tell your friends, and please join our community by becoming a member. Just click on the beating heart at the top right of our homepage. Thanks for listening.